Hi guys, Kaz here, but not for long. I'm going to bugger off in a second, but my face is just here to tell you that today I'm going to be doing a graphic novel shelf tour. So basically a couple of weeks ago I noticed that one of my old shelf tours was getting quite a few views. My comics have changed so much since then, so why not do an updated one? So first of all, obviously, this is most of my comics. These are all in alphabetical order, which makes sense, but I also have another shelf down here which has them in. Basically, I fit them in here until I need to put more in, and then I take out the ones that are like not normal height and they live over there. Those are not in order. But yeah, I'm just going to go through all of my comics. I'll give you some info about ones that I really like. I won't go crazy into it because there's a lot of things to get through. But yeah, we're just going to crack straight into this. So let's go. I'm just going to use this as a background to go through the ones that are on the shelf next to me. So first of all, we have Heartstopper, all of them so far that have come out. So we've got Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, 4 and 5. And the first 3 volumes are all signed because I went to an Alice Oseman thing several years ago before the other 2 were out. And next we have Check Please Volume 1 and Volume 2. I enjoyed Volume 1 more than the other one. Bloom, this is a standalone. Mouse, this is a great non-fiction comic. I'm not normally into World War II things reading wise, but really enjoyed this one. Then I have You Brought Me the Ocean and Through the Woods, a little Avatar comic about Toph, Swamp Thing, a comic about the Dragon Prince. This TV show, I loved the first few seasons, but then when they did the time jump, I just stopped watching it. But the first few seasons are great. Nimona, one of the first comics I ever read. The Witch Boy and The Hidden Witch. There is a third one in this series that I've not got yet. The Worst Journey in the World graphic novel. So this is a non-fiction polar exploration book turned into a graphic novel. This is Volume 1 and it's made at the Polar Institute in Cambridge. We have Lightfall Volume 1, Volume 2 and Volume 3. Absolutely love this series. It's a middle grade. I've read the first 2. I've not read the third one yet. I need to reread these 2, but this is an amazing series. Scurry. The artwork in here is so good. Demon in the Wood, this is a Shadow and Bone spin-off graphic novel thing about the Darkling. Then I have The Sad Ghost Club Volume 1, Volume 2 and Volume 3. And before we get onto the main shelves with like proper comics, I have a few that I'm going to show you that are arcs, so on a different shelf. So I have Squire, Frontiera, Ghost Roast and The Worst Ronin, and because these are arcs they have like the first few pages properly in colour and then the rest of it's in black and white. So yeah, so we're going to go on to the proper comics now. So for me personally, my favourite publishers are Image. I'm not a massive superhero person. I've got a few Marvel bits here and there, but I did get rid of a lot of them because it's just not what I'm interested in. We have Alex and Ada Volume 1. The Absence, I've not read this yet, but I like horror-y stuff and it was only a couple of quid, so hopefully it's good. We've got Avengers The Children's Crusade. Again, this is one I haven't read, but I kept it because it's got Young Avengers in and I quite like Young Avengers. I'll read it eventually. We have American Vampire Volume 1 and The Backstagers Volume 1. Bedlam Volume 1. I've got quite a few Volume 1s of stuff because I like to just pick them up for cheap on eBay or on Sci-Fi or World of Books to try them out, so yeah. Especially Sci-Fi, you can get them for really good prices on there second hand. Bingo Love, Bitch Planet Volume 1 and Volume 2. I really enjoyed Volume 1, but Volume 2, it was just all over the place and it kind of stopped getting published, so I guess other people wasn't interested either. I don't know, it's a weird one. Blue is the Warmest Colour. Next up we have Chew. This is one of my favourite series. This first volume I found on eBay for £1, so I picked it up. And then it turned out to be one of my favourite comic series, so yeah, that's why I like picking up random first volumes. But yeah, we've got Volume 1, number 2, 3, number 4 and number 5. This is a sci-fi series about chicken that some sort of pandemic has happened, so chicken has been banned. But then also some people have weird food powers and it's really good. Volume 6 and Volume 7. I feel like it probably would have sounded better for you if I actually said all the names like Volume 7, Bad Apples, rather than just saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 1,000 times, but you know, it would also make this video very long. Volume 8, Volume 9. I also didn't want to just say Chew Volume 1, Chew Volume 2 because that'd be even more annoying. Volume 10, Volume 11 and Volume 12. And there's also a little bit of a spin-off with Chew, so We have this one. This is Outer Darkness and Chew. Outer Darkness is another series written by the same author, so this is like a mix-up of those two. And we also have Chew written in a different way. This is about Tony, who is the main character of Chew's sister, and there's a volume 1 and volume 2. This is the same author, John Layman, but it doesn't have Rob Guillory doing the art. It has a different dude called Dan Boltwood. But yeah, I quite enjoyed these, but definitely not as good as the original series. Next up we have Deadly Class. This is also a great series. It's set in the 80s, it's about a school for assassins, and yeah, it's really good. Really melancholy and emo as well, if you will. But anyway, volume 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. This is a series that I have not got up to date at the moment because they're really hard to find second hand, and I don't like spending loads of money on comics. So yeah, I normally just wait until someone gets me it for like Christmas or birthdays. Volume 6, volume 7, and volume 8. I think there's only a couple more that I haven't got, so I really should get them and finish the series off, to be fair, because I do really enjoy it. Next up we have some Deadpool. This is some sort of Marvel that I do own. I did have the whole 10 volumes of this run, but it seems like it just got worse and worse because I kept the first 6, and then after I'd read them I got rid of the rest of them because they were really bad. But yeah, the first ones are pretty decent, and some of them made me laugh out loud. But yeah, and then it just went downhill. But yeah, there's volume 2, and volume 3, volume 4, volume 5, and volume 6. And I also have this one, which is Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe. It's not the best in the world, but it's really thin, so I'm like, I might as well just keep it. Next up, Fables. So this is a series that I've been collecting. Again, I've mentioned it a few times, but I will just go on Sci-Fi or eBay and stuff and collect the volumes when I find them for really cheap, because that's who I am as a comic person. But yeah, I've read the first volume, really enjoyed it, and now I'm just collecting the rest so I can just read it all in one go. So we've got volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, volume 5, and volume 6. And yeah, I just managed to find these for like a couple of quid, so that's why I've randomly not got number 4 yet, because I haven't found it for cheap yet. Then I just have the first volume of Farmhand. This is the same author I mentioned who did Chew. Really enjoyed this one, but I've not picked up the other 2 I think that are out so far. But yeah, this one's really weird and fun. And then we move on to Fence. Fence is a really weird one because I don't know why the series keeps taking ages to come out, but the first few came out and then there was like a year or 2 and then one randomly came out, and then I didn't know if it was cancelled, and then like a year or 2 later another random one came out. But this is slice of life, so like nothing happens. It's really fun, but nothing happens. So yeah, we're just waiting for years for the story to progress like a slug's length, but I will keep reading them when they come out eventually. So yeah, volume 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. Next up I have Giant Days volume 1, Gotham Academy volume 1. This one I found very average, but I just really like the artwork, which is why I've not got rid of it yet. But I'm sure when I need to find space, this will be one of the ones that will go. House of Mystery volume 1, another random one I read years and years ago. I've had it for ages. This was one of the first comics I bought off eBay. I literally just typed in graphic novels and searched the lowest price, and that's how I got into comics. And then I Hate Fairyland volume 1. Again, it was fun, but not one that I've carried on. Now we've got Kick-Ass volume 1, volume 2, which is a prelude for Hit Girl, then the actual volume 2, and volume 3. There was like a spin-off of Kick-Ass that I borrowed from my library, and it's absolutely terrible, so don't read that one. The one where it's like an older woman on it, it's not good. And then I also have Kingsman volume 1, and now we're moving down to the next section. So next up I've got all of Lock and Key. I have it in this hardback, really fancy editions, a few of them, or all of them I think. Some of them have bookmarks in them as well. But yeah, I found these on eBay. So I had volume 1 and 2 normal, and it would have cost me more to try and get the normal volumes than to just get this off eBay. Someone was selling the whole lot, so yeah. There's volume 2, volume 3, volume 4, volume 5, volume 6, and Lock and Key Small World, which is a couple of little single stories in here. And yeah, I think this was like 40 quid, around that amount, for all 6 volumes in hardback and this other random thing. So yeah, boom. Another little selection of random comics. This is Long Gone Dawn. I got this from the the author slash artists at Comic-Con. They were there. I got chatting to them, and then I have it signed here, and then the I was about to say author again, the artist said pick which character you like the look of the most and did me a little thingy there, so that's fun. I have Misfit City Volume 1 and Love is Love, which I've said in the wrong way round, but they were this way round on my shelf because alphabetical order. I have The Mystery Knight by George R. R. Martin. The biggest mystery is if Winds of Winter will ever come out. Probably not. And now we have Nailbiter. This is a series I really enjoy. So I quite like horror-y comics, as you might be able to tell by some of the stuff here. But we have Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4 and Volume 5. But for some reason Volume 6 is so hard to find. I think they discontinued it. And yeah, it's really annoying because I want to finish this series because Volume 6 is the last one. And then there's 2 little Nailbiter Return comics. But yeah, I want to see how this finishes. Why? It's either really expensive everywhere or it just doesn't exist anywhere. So that's annoying. I have Outcast Volume 1. A bunch of these Volume 1s I did do a vlog a few months ago because I bought a bunch off Sci-Fi, so I'll link that somewhere, probably up or down. I have Postal, the complete collection. This one was one that I got off Sci-Fi in that vlog, and I read Volume 1. I really liked it, and then I was looking at for Volume 2 and 3, but I found this secondhand and it was super cheap, so I thought I might as well just get the whole thing, because why not? Next up we have Preacher. This is a great series, really like this one, definitely recommend. But this is Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5. They did a TV show of this as well. I've watched the first season and really liked it, but I don't know why I haven't carried it on. But yeah, I definitely want to watch the rest of the TV show to see how it stacks up to the comics. Volume 6. It's got Joseph Gilgun in, so like obviously I need to finish watching it, you know. Volume 7, Volume 8 and Volume 9, the last one. I have Pretty Deadly Volume 1. This one I really enjoyed, so I definitely want to carry this series on. I have Rat Queens. This started off really good. It was really fun the first few volumes. So I've got Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4 and Volume 5. But like weird stuff happened with this, and then stuff got retconned and the writing's not good anymore and the art's different. So yeah, I'm not gonna be getting any more of the Rat Queens, which is unfortunate because it was really good at the beginning. I have Revival Volume 1, and now we have the complete run of the Runaways. This series I enjoyed. It's not the best. I don't know, maybe I'll have to reread it to see whether I'd want to keep it if I did need the space. But for now, it was one of the first full series that I read, so yeah. It was quite good. So we've got Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3. We have number 4 and number 5. Number 6, you see I've started saying number, I thought I'd mix it up for you a bit. And then we have number 7, number 8, number 9 and number 10. This is another series that went through different artists and stuff, so I enjoyed certain parts more than the rest. But it's been many years since I read this, so I couldn't tell you which bits I enjoyed the most. And as if my arm wasn't aching enough holding all of these up, here is the first compendium of Saga. It's a beast, it's heavy, and it's a great series. Oh my days, I might die. That was the first 9 volumes, this is Volume 10. I've not got Volume 11 yet. I don't know if 12's out, but I know 11 definitely is, but I've not got it yet. But yeah, again, great series. And next I have The Sandman. This again is another one. I read the first volume years and years ago and really enjoyed it, so I've just been randomly finding them second hand. So I have Volume 2, Volume 3 and Volume 7. I've got Sex Criminals Volume 1. I've read this one quite a few years ago, but I found Volume 2 on Sci-Fi super cheap and I thought, oh yeah, I liked that, so I want to carry it on / reread that one first. And it's quite a short series as well, so yeah, I think there's only like 5 or 6 of these. I might just be making that up though. I also have Sheltered Volume 1 and Slam Volume 1. And now we're moving on down to the last shelf. My arm is going to be very happy until I get to this bit. But yes, I have Snot Girl Volume 1. Something is Killing the Children. I'm really enjoying this so far. This is definitely a recommendation. I feel like everybody's heard of it though, so it's not really. So we've got Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, number 5. Number 4 has been my favourite so far. Just thought I'd throw that in there. And Volume 6. But yeah, great series. Next up I have Sweet Tooth. This is also one of my favourite comics. Absolutely love Sweet Tooth. If you've only seen the TV show, then I beg, read the comics. They're so much better. They're so much darker. Yeah. I watched the first few episodes of the TV show, and then as soon as they had that weird animatronic CGI Bobby, I just had to turn it off because I hated it, because he was my favourite character. And they made him look like an idiot. But yeah, Volume 1, Number 2, Volume 3, Volume 4... and then this is Volume 5 and 6, but I think it's Book 3 because this is like in the double packs. And then Sweet Tooth, The Return. I have Trees Volume 1. This was a very intriguing one. We have The Unwritten. This is another one that I've been collecting here and there when I find them for cheap. It's quite an older one, and it's not one that I really see people talking about. But yeah, Volume 1, Number 2, Number 3, Number 4, Number 5... Number 6, which is the one I've read up to because the next one I own is Number 9. Next up we have The Walking Dead, so I have the first compendium. This is a heavy chonker. I have the second compendium, which takes us up to Volume 17, Number 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. And I got all of these in an eBay sale. It was on auction. 24 volumes, I think it was about 70 quid-ish, give or take. So yeah, pretty decent. Next up we have The Wicked and the Divine. This was, again, one of those series that I was collecting up. But last year I collected all of them and read them all. So we have Volume 1, Number 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, Volume 6, Volume 7, Volume 8... and Volume 9, and I did complete this last year, but it's definitely a series that I need to reread all in one go because it gets confusing and lots of stuff happens, and I feel like it would definitely requires a reread. But it's really good as well, at the same time. Next up we have Witches Volume 1, we have the original run of Young Avengers, and then like the redo, the rebirth, whatever it is, Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. And then last but not least, quite aptly, we have Y the Last Man. Again, another one I've been collecting when I can find them cheap. So I have Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3, which is what I've read up to, but I'll definitely be very soon reading Volume 4, Volume 5, and Volume 6. I believe this one is 7 and 8 together, and then I have 10. I've not found 9 yet. So yes, there we go. That was all of the comics I own. Hopefully this has been interesting. I've not really talked about much of them. It's probably a long video, but hopefully it's a good video. I don't know. I have read other things, but these are the ones I own. For example, I definitely recommend Jeff Lemire's other series, Gideon Falls. I borrowed that from the library and definitely want to own that one at some point. On the flip side, I know this is sacrilege as somebody who likes comics, but I'm just not an Alan Moore fan. I've owned and read The Killing Joke, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, V for Vendetta, Watchmen. I wasn't a massive fan of any of them, so they've all been on hold. Soz. I know, I just admit this right now at the end. Sorry. But yeah, do the things if you want, like if you want, comment if you want, subscribe if you want. Recommend me a comic down below. That would be great, if you're still here. And yeah, I'll see you in a few days with another video. Bye.